welcome to Conquering Mount Scrapmore with Brenda. I'm Brenda, and we're here today with another episode of Why Seam Wednesday. Why Seam Wednesday was one of those things, well, I had a lot of people asking about how I do why seams, and I'm going to show you a couple of different ways in doing this, but we're going to do Blockade from 1938. Now this is the mini. So you're going to find cutting instructions in the show notes below for both the mini and the 12-inch. This is 6.5 by 6.5 unfinished, and you're going to have the 12.5 unfinished in the show notes as well. So that's the one we're going to work on today because it's a little easier to do than this one, but I just think this one is adorable. So this one's from 1938. Now let's do our shout out first before I forget everything, because this is a lot of fun to set up for you guys. Christine at Quilting on Caffeine. Now the name of her YouTube channel is almost after my own heart, because there's lots of private jokes around about me and drinking coffee and quilting and everything else. But I thought we got to give her a shout out because this is so cute. Now, her YouTube channel is going to be in the show notes below, and you know the drill, guys. Go give her some encouragement and love, and and tell her that Brenda from Conquering Mount Scrapmore sent you. So next up is our community round robin. Now the schedule for when those blocks are dropping are in the show notes as well. I cannot tell you how important it is for you to get in those show notes or that description box. Look at that see more button and click on it, right? So now those community round robin people, we had such a blast. The first one went out July 9th, so you can go back and see what I posted out for July 9th, because I was the first one. But then you get a schedule as to when the other ones are coming out, when we're dropping this video. And those blocks are gorgeous. We see a lot of them coming up on our Facebook feed, and they're just, it's lovely how people are putting them together, and the color palettes are amazing. So you got to go check that one out because it's a lot of fun. And we did that with Kelly from Kelly Quilts and Cruises, Future Cat from New Zealand, Michelle from Bits and Pieces. And wow, were those content creators wonderful to work with. I would work with them again in a heartbeat. It was great. Now, the other thing you're going to find in there, of course, is our Facebook group. Our Facebook group is warm and welcoming. We have a virtual sewing room set up for the Facebook group people in Discord, and it's open 24/7. So you have a virtual sewing date 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and you never know who you're going to meet in there or what country they're from, because people from all over are popping into that room. It's really great. It's a great way to get in talking with people and finding out what's going on, and different parts of the country, and different parts of the world, what quilting's all about, what quilting means to them. It's really a cool thing to do. We also do fabric scraps fabric exchanges by country, or block exchanges by country. We also do free recipes. We all sorts of community chats. We have so much fun in there. It's great. We also have a Zoom sew date from now until the December, and we've made that commitment to you. It's from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, and that's for everybody on YouTube. If they want to come join, that's when they come join, and we just have a great time in there. And I get lots done that day. I bring some project that is easy for me to do, and I don't have to concentrate too hard, so we all get to chattering and having a good time, and I find out what's inspiring you. Don't bring stuff that I necessarily put out unless you have to, but I mean, bring what's inspiring you. And if you don't feel like sewing that day and you want to bring your knitting, go for it. It's a great place to come hang out, and we'd be happy to have you. The other thing too, now I'm not sure when this video is dropping, so Nikki from the Ruffle Purse has invited me to Conquer Your Fabric Scrap Summit. Now, I have put up my videos. I sent her my videos, so she's putting them up along with a bunch of other talented creators and teachers. Now, that summit is free from August 15th to August 18th, and I will be posting links in the show notes as well, right? So you can, pull in there. But if you're viewing this after, right, I mean, you have to pay, or if you're not going to be around from August 15th to August 18th, you have to pay for an extension. Yeah, I know, but it is free for those days. Now, what happens is I will put up my videos that I did send to Nikki. Once the summit is completely over, I will put them up as content. So at least you'll be able to see my content for free after the summit's over. So I thought that was, that's the best we can do. Now also, I speak for free. So if your quilting guild or a quilting group is looking for speakers that talk about using your fabric scraps, elements of design, making charity quilts, and just having a good time in your sewing room, put my name forward. I'd be delighted to come speak to your group. I have met so many talented quilters, and it's just amazing, this journey that my husband and myself are on. And the people I'm speaking to, it's like, wow, it's just incredible. So if that's what if that's what your group is into, please put my name forward. I'd be happy to come speak to you. So I think we're done. Yes, we're done. Come on in. We'll get to this sewing. Okay, so here we are at the sewing machine. Yay, we're at the sewing machine. So this is the baby, right? That's a 6.5 inch one. And I'm just gonna put this to the side. No, on second thought, I'm gonna leave it there because you guys gotta see kind of maybe what we're working on. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're going to sew a 1/4 inch seam. Now we're gonna line this up so that both little parts of the white triangle are hanging out just perfectly on the same, thing, right? Now I have chosen a foot. I don't have my normal 1/4 inch foot on here because I want to be able to see more of that seam that's going on there, right? And I know some of you are like, oh, but we miss not having those. I know. Anyway, so these I cut, and I'm going to run them through all the same way, and they're this piece here, right, that I'm cutting. It's not a leader ender, it's this part here of the block. It makes the block just pop. Okay, there. So now I'm going to press this over like this and press the seam open. Just like so. Just like so. There. And we're going to take the other side, right, of this, square this up, and get this as close as we can. There we go. Okay, now we're pressing this one. This one I'm pressing to the dark because there's this little dove print is really cute, but I'm not sure it will handle all the, it might be show through, so I kind of want to protect it from showing through purple. So yeah, and we'll just run another one of these half square triangles through. Okay, now I'll press that one open. Just finger press it for now. So that's all we need. You notice I haven't put any dots. I didn't talk to you about putting dots down. You could put dots down. If you really wanted to put dots down, you could. Now, this is the piece we want to put in, right? So what we're doing is we're lining up these points first. We're going to line up this edge first. Okay. Oops. Oh, we need to line up the other side first. Sorry. Oops. Because we're flipping it over. So this side gets lined up first, and I don't want those stripes to match. I want them to unmatch. Okay, so I take my time. I line up that spiky stripe thing first. Okay. Okay. Now we just want to make sure this all goes and it stays straight. And we don't pull. Whatever you do, don't pull. Oh my goodness, don't pull. Okay, now we are right on that seam with the needle down. It's perfect. Right, so we get this out of the way, press to the dark. Like I say, you only got 4 of them to make. They're really lovely. And now I'm going to pivot and take this with me. I'm going to take the bottom like this, and I'm going to pivot like this with it, right? So that I have just a little bit of this over. Just a little bit. Here. So now I'm going to take a pin because I think a pin would work. Now I'm 1/4 inch in on the top and 1/4 inch, and then I'm just going to put that right through. you can probably get away with this block without pinning, right? I mean, if you're an unpinner, you don't like pinning, you can probably do it. Now, another thing I have is tweezers. Sometimes these blocks just don't want to play nice, and you gotta use some tweezers and a stiletto. And this was a perfect stiletto. I got this at a hardware store, I believe. And I'm just going to drop it right on that seam, pull my pin out. And now I'm going to take the bottom and I'm going to twist this around. Basically, you're doing a miter on this corner, but it is still considered a Y seam when you do it this way. Okay, now I'm going to take this and I'm going to be very careful lining up this edge, and I'm going to hold it with my tweezers. And give it a little slack. Okay, and we're good. Now, that wasn't hard, was it? Boy, this block is going to come. Oh, I should have put another triangle through. Oops. Oops. Okay, we'll run a triangle through. It'll be fine. There we go. So let's take a look at what we did on this, and I'll put this to the side so I don't do it again. Okay, so this is what this looks like now, right? So let's flip it onto its back and press open these seams. Right? Okay, and we're going to press open these long skinny ones, and because they're both on the bias, we don't want to get too rough. Gently press. Gently press. Okay, and gently open that seam, and gently open this seam. Ugh. Yeah, my fingernail. My fingers aren't working so great today. Oh well. I spend more time fiddling with the seam in the back, finger pressing it, than I do actually sewing it. But anyways, okay, so there we are right now. That's what we look. That's what we got. It's coming together. It's nice and flat so far, so good. Right, we're going to do this again. We're going to start on this wrong side. Start on this side, and we are going to line up this as best we can and take our time lining it up. This is not a fast, quick block, but you got to take some time lining it up. Okay, so here we go. Okay, get this one under, make a nice 1/4 inch seam. Right, okay, perfect. And you want to go right to that first open seam, right on the seam, and stop your machine and hand crank your way right to the, because you'll probably be more like when you're hand cranking, you can kind of, if it's, you only need half a stitch, you start with a stitch down, then you pull back a bit, and it will give you that half stitch, right? I don't know in the modern machines what happens, but this is what these old babies, the baby I'm sewing on here, the 301A, was able to do. Okay, now, get our pin. Half, you put it right in the seam, 1/4 inch down, you put this in 1/4 inch down, and you line all this up the best you can, and you hold it in place, just like that. And you want to make sure all of this underneath now is lying flat, and it's a little wobbly, but you know, just gently wiggle, and you know, wiggle until the wobble goes away. There we go. Nice. Make a nice 1/4 inch. There you go. You get almost to that needle and you hand crank. There we go. Perfect. And now the last bit, you want to push this over just like so. And you want to take your time, line up. The only thing I wish these tweezers would do is once I put them in place on the end, you want to line up the tips, you put them in place like that, and then they would clamp down without, there we go. Yeah, oh, that works. Oh, wow. Okay, let's get this sewn. Okay, just hold this the other way. There. Okay. Now, last one of these little triangles. I don't know where I got the gray Dove fabric, this one here, but wow, is that cute. I have no idea if I bought it or if somebody else donated it to me or what, but it's adorable. So again, we open up those seams, right? Now that this thing is all sewn open, there we go. And we open up this as well. Yeah, I just finger press it up gently, and gently just scratch your nail. Don't pull. Don't roughhouse this, because these are both bias edges, and the only thing that's holding it together is, you know, two little bits of thread. You'll do better once you get the edging on, like this edge on. So now, this is what this looks like now. So what we want to do is we want to sew these pieces on here, just like that. Right, so this comes together. So you line this up, and if all has worked out well, okay, if all has worked out well, this should just line up. This should line up. Okay, there we go. We're going to do there. Okay, right, now, let's see. We got this. And don't be afraid to make sure that seam stays in the right spot. There. Okay. And now I've lost my plug. There it is. Yeah. So now you just press this out. Right? Just like that. And we do the other side just like this. There we go. There. There. And there we go. Get the plug underneath. Yeah. Yeah. This has been in my. These two have been in my stash forever. It's just like, oh my goodness, that's so. Okay, let's play with this and let's get this out. Yeah, that'll be fun. Okay, there. Now. Okay, so we're lining this up. There we go. We want to make sure we get a nice little 1/4 inch seam on that. Like here at the apex, right here. So we have, like, when I was playing with this one, I cut off my apex, but I mean, that happens occasionally. It happens. It's a scrap block, so I'll try to do the best with it that I can. And, okay, oops, last off. There we go. Basically, these triangles that are created from this, at the end, the little dog ears, help you line up where to place this. That's the nice part about this block. Okay, and last up, here we go. So you line up this triangle with the triangle underneath. Right, and this triangle matches this little triangle here, and everything lines up perfectly. I didn't design this block, but I see the simplicity and the beauty in it. It is just such a gorgeous little block. Okay. Now, alrighty. Now Now just to give it a quick flip over, and I'll show you again how we pressed everything. So these go out this way, right? They go away from the block. They just point out. So all of this, so the only seam that's folded over is this one here, and the rest of this is all going to be ironed open, right? This is all just pressed out towards the block, but all of this in here is pressed open. And that way your block's going to lie the flattest. Okay, let's get to our ta-da moment. Okay, so here we are. Here's our block that we made. Yes, there's little dog ears that I got to trim off, but it does finish at 12.5 unfinished, right? So that's where we're at. This one did 6.5 finished. Now I have cutting instructions for both of these because I really like this scale, but this was lots of fun for me to do and use up smaller pieces, and you could have a lot of fun with this. So I thought, okay, well, we're going to give this one a try, and we're going to play around with it, and you could make 4 of these and put them into a block, and that would be 12.5 unfinished, so 12-inch finish in a quilt. So I do hope you give this one a try. I'm going to leave both cutting instructions in the show notes below, so it's important you get into those show notes. This one was a lot of fun and very simple to cut because I use the marks on my rulers to make my 45-degree lines, right? So that's something important for you to know. You already have those tools. If you have a ruler with a 45-degree line on it, you have the tool already to cut this. So I hope you give it a try, and the life is going great for you, and everything's going all right for you in your sewing room. And you know, I just hope you have an amazing week ahead. Okay, take care until we see each other again. Okay, bye. Hello again. We just want to thank you for enjoying our video and, you know, coming along with my husband and my YouTube adventure and quilting. And, you know, sometimes things don't work out as best they should, and sometimes they work out great. We're going, wow, that went well. But it's been an amazing journey, and I'm so glad I could share it with you. Share, like, and subscribe these videos. That really helps us out, and it helps us make more charity quilts, okay? So you guys take care until we have a chance to meet again, okay? Bye!